My girlfriend Anya is a nurse, so when she managed to score 2 weeks of last minute annual leave, we just had one question. Where's the best place we can take our 4-wheel drive in the middle of winter? The spot we ended up choosing, you'd never expect it, and it completely blew us away.
Are you kidding me? Winter is the time.
Now, it wasn't all easy.
We need to cross a saltwater crossing, which I really don't want to do, but to get to this campsite, you have to do it.
But from the 4-wheel driving to the camping and everything in between, this trip will be on your bucket list. And the best thing about it is that anyone can do it.
All right, Anya, so where are we heading?
We're just leaving Sydney, heading up the New South Wales coast all the way towards Queensland.
That's it. We're going to try and hit every single POI, campsite, beach, everything up that coast, because Anya and I have never done it before. You know, driven past up the Pacific Highway, but never pulled into any of these small towns. And yeah, there's going to be heaps to check out. So we're really excited. We've got 2 weeks, so let's just get right into it.
Now, luckily, we were already in Sydney due to the 4x4 show, so it made it the perfect place to kickstart the holiday. But before we left Sydney, we thought we'd do a little bit of sightseeing, and Anya was very keen to go to the famous Bondi Beach for a surf. Now, being so close to Sydney, there isn't really any free camping options, so our first couple of nights were spent in caravan parks before we then got on the Pacific Highway and began our trip north, with the first stop being just outside Newcastle at a very famous 4-wheel drive location.
All right, so I just got my 3-day permit to drive on the beach at Stockton because, yeah, you need a permit to actually go out there. So yeah, it was $33 for, 3 days. You can get an annual pass and that, but yeah, this is enough for me. So we'll throw it on the car, head out to Stockton Beach. Now, before we drive onto the beach, I'm actually going to soften up all my compression. I had it obviously all stiffened up on the highway on the way down here, but we'll soften it all up because, yeah, I think I'm about to hit some dunes, so let's get into it.
Now, out on Stockton Beach, you've got 350 hectares of dunes to get lost in, and that's exactly what we plan to do.
I'd say the key points for sand driving is don't corner too hard, especially with all the weight on board. So don't try and turn around about super fast because you don't want to tip it over. You won't get bogged here, so don't panic, just have fun, drive it.
Very good.
Get used to the sensation of sand. Just go first gear and change through your gears and just drive. There you go, good work.
Stockton Beach is a perfect first timer's intro into sand driving, and Anya was having an absolute blast behind the wheel.
I reckon Anya likes the beach driving more than I do.
We pulled up to have some lunch and started travelling up and down the beach until Anya spotted something in the water, and quick warning, she got very excited.
Oh my god, I just saw a humpback whale. Sorry, look over there. Oh my god, we're seeing humpback whales coming out right off.
Oh, I got it! I got it!
Humpback whale, because May to November is the season for whaling, and there's a humpback whale out there. Oh my god, Pat, it's coming up again.
Yeah, got it.
And so we ended up sitting on the beach, whale watching, until I looked out the window and saw another kind of beast.
That is awesome! High-speed jet pass along the beach, are you serious? They're right in front of us.
So with jets appearing around our head, we followed the sounds and wound up at the local RAF base.
Alright, so as we're coming through up to Nelson Bay, had to go past Williamtown Air Base. So they've got a RAF base here where all the pilots train and launch their fighter jets and everything. We've pulled up at the exact right time. 2 of the training jets are about to jump in the sky, so yeah, pretty cool get to see them this close up. Oh, there's heaps, there's 3 others too. Oh, what good timing, Anya.
Seeing and hearing these things take off feels like something out of science fiction, so it's definitely worth a visit while you're in the area.
Alright, so I pulled up to our epic beachfront we're in a caravan park, but it's kind of been a bit of the story here. We're traveling up the East Coast. There's not a lot of free camping, which I knew, but there's also less and less because of the flooding that's come through. We went to stay at Samurai Beach tonight, which is somewhat on the beach, but that's closed due to flooding. So we're actually just outside Nelson Bay in a caravan park. It's completely empty, so it's kind of like we're in the bush, but yeah, we get the benefit. So you know, Anya tested out the jumping castle. That was fun. But no, we get showers and all that. There's gonna be plenty more, hopefully, beach camping as we head further north. So Anya's got dinner on the go, but if you're not following us on Instagram, you probably haven't seen all of this going on. So there's been a big kitchen overhaul on the back of the 80 series, so let me run you through it. Now, this rebar from Razzler is built to be modular, so what we've done is replace the 2 twin jerry cans with 1 jerry can and a jerry/gas holder. So this is a 9 kilo gas bottle, which means I'm running gas for cooking. And this is all because up here, you'll see on this shelf, there's a hot tap. So it's Anya's gas shower. As we've gone away for a few weeks, Anya wanted to make sure that she's gonna be able to shower if we're at campsites where, you know, they don't have showers or whatever. So we've got that on board. You'll also notice in the middle, we have a water tank. So that's a 14 to 15 litre water tank from Razzler. And now if you come around to this side, what Anya's showing you here are the pockets. So I've added a second pocket, which you might see back here. And that pocket is a little bit high, you might notice, because we've added a gas cooker holder. Now this is a custom made holder, which Liam and I did in the shed. It's super simple. It's literally just 2 square channels of tubing that have been cut and nut welded on one end and screws into the threads which hold on the jerry holders and such. So it's super simple to screw it in, sit a cooker on. It's got some grip tape on there and some stoppers just from Bunnings, and that holds the gas cooker there perfectly. It's nice because I didn't want to have a full-on table set up there because of the tailgate on the 80 series. I didn't want it to clash, but this is super modular. You can just unscrew it when you want it, put it on when you want. So yeah, it's between all that, it's become a pretty awesome kitchen setup. So yeah, it's all just coming together. I really, really love it.
Hey, what do you think about that,
Anya
Patrick?
has absolutely knocked it out of the park. It's
Yeah.
bloody insane. So we've been in the 80 series. We're heading up Tomaree Head. Apparently it's a pretty good lookout. There's some old gunnery World War II emplacements up there too, which we're keen to check out.
Perched on top of Tomaree Head, Fort Tomaree was a crucial part of Australia's coastal defence during World War II. Built to protect Newcastle and the Williamtown RAF base from potential Japanese attack, the thinking at the time was that the unguarded Port Stephens could be an easy landing spot for a hostile force, so in 1942 the fort was constructed. Armed with 6-inch naval guns, torpedoes, tubes, mortars, machine guns, rifle pits, and even a radar station, it was properly set up to defend the coastline.
Well, it said there that they had a battalion of 500 men, all ex-World War I vets, protecting this place during that World War II period. So that's pretty full on. There would have been a lot of activity going on up here.
Continuing up to the summit, and you get some incredible views over Nelson Bay and the surrounding islands.
What did we just see, Paddy?
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the area around Nelson Bay is super nice. It honestly feels like a retiree's paradise. Every second car is either towing a caravan, and everyone's either on holiday or just permanently retired. Not to mention, this time of year it's super quiet, so it made it really enjoyable to get around. However, it was just missing one thing, and that was the 4x4 camping options.
So I'll just run through. This is the daily night setup. So right now, we don't have free camping. So pretty much we're in a caravan park every single night, which is okay. It's different.
Which Patrick is just so happy about.
Thrilled. So basically, Anya goes in, sees that they got accommodation, which we're at winter, so they do. She gives you this map.
Patrick gets angry that he has to spend $40
I get mad
and whines about it for half a
to pay to
day.
go camping. So it's alright. Hopefully the further we go north, we should be able to find at least some national park camping. But yeah, the free camping here is just non-existent. But that's just the reality, I think, unfortunately. But yeah, so basically, we get assigned a patch of grass and we go and camp on it. We sit our car in here. We're on a beachfront caravan park, so it should be alright tonight. So hopefully we can go out and see some things. One thing I have noticed about being up here in winter is that it gets dark very quickly. So about 4 o'clock and the sun's starting to set. So not much time in the day, but we'll get this up and then we'll head down the beach. Oh, step 4. Step 5.
Find our way to the beach. This is the most pathetic cheese platter we've ever had.
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
Don't drop the cheese, Patrick. Chickers.
So we kicked back on the beach, looking out at the water, and of course, because we're in Newcastle, the fighter jets.
I don't know if you can see that. Jets. What do you think of that, Paddy?
Are you kidding me? How? That's better than what you get at the bloody air show. That's like, oh, so cool. And it's every day for free. I want to come and live on Newcastle.
I'm sure the locals
I want to live at
love
Stockton
it.
Beach. This is sick.
Pretty good day. Dolphins, whales, jets.
Cargo plane. Well, Nelson Bay area, could definitely recommend it. Very good for families. So many cool beaches, cool national parks, and yeah, been a great spot to stop in.
So after being on the sand, we made sure to properly wash the car down because you don't want any salt left on it that could lead to premature rust. And then after doing that, we can make a move.
Alright, so I've left Nelson Bay, we're on the Pacific Highway, we're heading north to our next location really, which is Seal Rocks. So we're just pretty much going on the coast, trying to hit every national park, every POI we can find really. Today's drive's only about an hour and a half, so pretty cruisy. But yeah, hopefully our first campsite is alright. Oh wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh my god.
There's people out there.
Look at that, Anya.
There's people out there swimming.
Look at that.
That's beautiful. Look how clear that water is, Patrick.
I know.
Look right in front of us.
I know.
I can see right down to the sand.
Tucked away on the mid-north coast, Seal Rocks is a proper hidden gem, and we were so stoked to finally check it out.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's winter.
Now, there's not much here, but that's exactly why we loved it. With its rugged headlands and turquoise bays, Seal Rocks feels like it belongs in a postcard.
I was going to say the temperature difference, like to put it in perspective, down in Melbourne, to have this temperature, you'd have to be in summer. Whereas we're in June right now, and I wouldn't dream of doing this in Victoria. But this, so warm, it's awesome.
Now, that afternoon, we had a few different places to check out before reaching our campsite for the night.
Just pulled over for a little lunch stop. Wow. Down the lake.
This whole area along the lake's ways is just full of these huge lake systems which just look absolutely spectacular. In fact, this whole area is just blowing our minds. The beaches are incredible, the water is so clean, and now arriving at our first national park campground, I was really excited to get this trip going and find some epic camp spots.
Now, I've actually loved moving over to gas. Like, it's such an old technology, it's been around forever. But I've always used those little butane stoves with those canisters. And they sort of suck, like in the morning, especially in the high country, they always freeze over. You can never get any good heat out of the cans. But the gas bottle, it's there, it's ready to go. It's always hot, which is awesome. We obviously did try to do induction cooking, but I didn't have enough power on the car. Like I have 120 amp hours, and it's just not enough. Like you can do like a meal, like maybe get away with a meal, but now run electric blanket and all that stuff. I just don't have enough power. And honestly, like the gas is just easy because I can swap and go it at any store. I can get it refilled at BCF or something on the way. It's just sort of, I don't know, it makes it a lot easier just to not have to worry about how you're gonna actually cook your foods. Another thing too, like having the gas, and now our gas burner that we're using, it's a twin burner, so like making meals is so much easier having two burners when we're doing like pasta and stuff. So yeah, it's just been honestly a very good changeover. So yeah, we'll see. Unless I upgrade my battery system, I think I'm definitely gonna be sticking with the gas. So yeah.
Now, today's mission was to leave north from camp to a town called Foster and hopefully jump on a beach and do some beach driving. Now, to drive on the beach in New South Wales, a lot of councils require you to obtain a permit. However, at the time, due to the recent floods, these beaches were closed to vehicles, so we continued north with the hope to find somewhere with some open beach access.
On the dirt, that's what I like to see. Alright, so we're finally heading out onto the beach. It cost me $40 for a month-long permit for the Port Macquarie Council, but anyway, that's what it costs here in Sydney. But yeah, it looks really nice. So yeah, go out there and enjoy it.
Now, this beach had only just reopened after the floods, so there was some erosion to look out for.
How you enjoying the sand driving, Anya?
Good. Yeah.
It's a little bit soft to this beach, but you're doing good. And it is quite a bit little steep, but if you just stick to these ruts, you should be fine.
We had arrived at Diamond Head, and by first impressions, it was going to be one hell of a spot.
Oh my god. So we've seen dolphins, whales, heaps of bird life, but just everything out here. And this beach is empty. Like, there's no one on this entire stretch of beach. It's incredible. Winter is the time.
So we decided to spend the afternoon out on the beach, so we got the surfboard down and headed out in the water.
Cheers. So we made it to Kylie's campground, which is just right next to the Diamond Head where we were surfing before. It's literally just around the corner. So this campground, there's no designated camp spot, so it's just kind of camp wherever you want, which is also sick. Still a paid campground, but yeah, it's really nice. I'm starting to notice one thing. Yes, the New South Wales camping is expensive, but all the parks are all the campgrounds are extremely well maintained. Like the amenities block we were in last night was like insanely high quality, which like I don't necessarily know if you need that when you go camping. Like I kind of would prefer a stripped back version where it's just like drop toilets and stuff and it's free, but someone like Anya behind the camera, she loved it. So I don't know, it's yeah, different, but yeah, it's been pretty cool.
There was a girl in there this morning with a hairdryer blowing her hairdryer.
That's New South Wales camping for you.
Very
it's just
cool.
Upmarket, but yeah. Definitely a little soft, but I'm just going to keep on pumping it. The ranger said I should be able to make it through and get out the other side, so we're aired down to about 25 psi, which is, you know, I probably should go a little bit. It is quite soft, this beach actually, and I'm noticing on my gauges, you know, big gauges, the water temp there was just started trickling up. It just went into the yellow, so up to 89 degrees, which I haven't seen that happen before, so the car's definitely working pretty hard on this beach. At these pressures, so especially we're pretty heavy, you know, this car's got a lot of weight on it. I'm just trying to maintain momentum. Oh, it's starting to get a bit soft here.
And the exit was definitely looking a bit steep and soft.
That's pretty. Might even need to air down to get up that.
Surely we'd try without airing down. Ooh.
I reckon.
Ah!
Nah, I'm bogged. I'm bogged. We need to air down. This is soft. Before we get any more bogged, I'm gonna let some air out of the tires because yeah, it's quite a full-on entry to get, quite a steep entry to get out of there. And there you go, 15 psi, and we walk out of it. Just goes to show. Now the exit for this beach is actually quite steep and the car's pretty loaded up. I'm gonna have to hit it with some speed to get out of it, but hopefully it should be alright. Alright, we made it. That was a pretty big send for the old 80. Oh geez.
So after making it along the beach and out the other side, we once again pointed the car north and began the trip to the larger coastal town of Port Macquarie.
Jeez Louise. See,
Do you want to go park or have a look?
Yeah, may as well. I feel like it's not bad for us moving our legs every now and again.
Tracking Point Lighthouse. Now we're in Port Macquarie right now. I don't really know much about Port Macquarie. I know Tyler lives here because I visited him here once, but that's about it. So hopefully we'll find a little bit more about it. But yeah, what a day. It's very nice.
Yeah, there's heaps of people doing whaling or whale watching at
Whaling,
the moment.
doing
no,
whaling.
They're not doing whaling.
They don't do
no,
whaling
no,
anymore.
they don't do that anymore.
They're
doing
whale
whale watching because from May to November, all the humpback whales are heading up north. They're
breed.
migrating to breed up there. So there's a lot of whale watchers around. And we saw some ourselves.
We should get on. If we can fit 21, we should get on, but we'll just see how well he goes at stacking them in.
Shoot straight out the middle, nice.
Awesome, thank you.
So we decided to take the ferry across from Port Macquarie to North Shore. Instead of going all out and getting on the freeway and all that. We're crossing the ferry, and then we're going to bash up the coast. There's a heap of different national parks just north of Port Macquarie, which is pretty cool to check out. So yeah, we'll just cross the ferry and hopefully find a cool place to camp for the night. So we found some, we've crossed the ferry. We're on some road that had the big sign saying this isn't maintained by like the council or anyone, it's just a road. So it's been pretty bumpy, but and overgrown, but hopefully it's going to take us to where we're going, where we want to go. Let's hope.
Now this track was unmaintained and rough as guts, so I don't recommend it, but after about 40 minutes it popped us out at an absolutely beautiful spot. Now, Point Paloma is home to a New South Wales National Park campground that definitely feels a lot like a caravan park, but with a secluded nature and epic beachfront, we decided to stay for the night.
Alright, so a cool thing at this campsite, well actually at a lot of New South Wales parks campsites, they do this thing where you can't have a fire unless you have it elevated off the ground, but you can hire a fire pit for $5 and you can buy a bag of wood for $15. So really not too bad. And it means tonight we can have a fire, which is pretty cool because it's been freezing every single night. So
We haven't had a fire for the whole
I know.
however many nights we've been camping.
First fire. Not bad. Not bad at all. Can get used to this. So what have you got, Nasanya?
Prawns from Rainbow Beach. We saw a van right outside of Coles after I'd been telling Patrick I really feel like prawns.
Yeah, then we saw the van.
So I got half a kilo. Pretty good.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be pretty good feed.
Yeah. Good?
Actually I really good prawns. So it was my time to cook tonight and I've whipped up a glorious meal. You guys won't. Travel buddy! And we've got some pies in there. It's alright, lucky Anya's a big pie fan, so yeah, they should go down a treat. Awesome spot at this Point Paloma. I was talking to a guy here and he was like, this place gets packed. So the fact you got a spot here in winter is even kind of lucky. We got the last campsite here in the entire campground. So yeah, he said that front area is completely booked out all the way till Christmas. So yeah, pretty cool spot. You can see why. Be a great like weekend here with family or mates, whatever though. Really cool spot.
So after leaving Point Paloma, we headed to our next spot to check out, which was a small surfing town of Crescent Head. Now, if you've ever done a trip along the coast, you'll know surfers are everywhere, especially on the New South Wales coast. In this part of town, if you don't have a longboard and an old troop carrier, you're doing something wrong. So Anya was very quick to get out there and tear up some waves. Now, after our afternoon in the surf, we headed through farm country and around to an absolute ripper of a spot that I'll be definitely coming back to. It's called Hat Head.
Just arrived at Hat Head. Had a lovely chat with old mate at the camp office. We're at the Hat Head Holiday Park and look at the spot. He just said, go pick wherever you want, mate, there's no one here. And we have literally got our own private beach to the river. That is so nice. This place is awesome. We're only here one night, but man, it makes me want to be here more because this place is so pretty. It's so quiet. It's just a small little holiday town. And the bird life here, like the noises are insane. Vines. See, that's giving me clean Queensland vibes. So, only about a 2-minute walk from where the car's parked, back at the campground. Over this side, you have the wild ocean. Oh my God, look at that. Wow. Look at the water when it hits those rocks on you. Look at the waves it's doing.
Fishing.
There's a man fishing. F that. F that. He's on a suicide mission right there.
What fish could be worth doing that?
Dude, how cool is this? No wonder it's so protected and quiet over there. This headland blocks all the wind and everything. And oh man. We can see just sitting here about 1, 2, 3 different pods of whales going through. And it's been like this the whole way up the coast. Yeah, just constant, just popping off, just jumping out of the water. Rope jumping up, breathing. Winter's the time to come visit this place. If you fluke the weather, I mean, it's dead quiet. There's so much animals and whales and oh my God, it's just, I wasn't very optimistic for this trip.
There's more.
I thought they were going to be like, we were going to be just in crappy weather the entire time. It was going to be, you know, but this is just, wow. The off season's where it's at. All right, so we're in for an early start this morning because we are tracking 2.5 hours north up to Coffs Harbour and then on to a place called Pebbly Beach. Now, we're in a bit of a rush because to get to this Pebbly Beach, we need to beat the tides. We need to cross a saltwater crossing, which I really don't want to do, but to get to this campsite, you have to do it. So in order to do that, we're trying to cross at the lowest tide possible, which today is about 11:41 a.m. The campsite's literally just opened for the first time in about, I think, a month and a half or 2 months since the flooding. So I'm not sure what the access is going to be like. We could be the first ones in there. I'm not sure, you know, what's the right line to take or how to cross it. So it's very much going to be Anya and I trying to, you know, work it out and not get the car covered in salt water, bogged, or flooded. So yeah, we'll go give it a crack and see how it all goes. What? On time, we're on track. All right, we've arrived. We're in the car down now, and then we'll head out on the beach. We've got to drive up the beach for, I think, just under a K or so, and then we're pretty much there at the crossing. So, yeah, hopefully it all goes well. Cross only at low tide, cross at home. I'm gonna hand you a UHF.
Yep.
And we're gonna work out where is the best place to cross on this because I have no, like it looks
So we want it to be firm and shallow.
firm and shallow. Now, I am literally gonna crawl this. And I'm talking a crawl. You come stand here. I'm gonna come straight on here, left hard bank, around that area, okay?
Yep.
But I'm just gonna go very slow.
So I'm gonna go here.
Definitely salt water. It's definitely a bit deeper over there, but hopefully Anya and I have worked out a path we can get through. I'm gonna say deep, I mean, not deep that it's gonna like, you know, flood the car, but just deep that it's gonna get salt water everywhere, which I don't want.
It's not actually hitting your suspension or the underbody yet. That I can see. No. As you can see there by the mud flaps, didn't get it wet. You look under here, all bone dry, all bone dry. So that's what you want to do. Bone dry under there. Yeah, we made it through, thank God. Low tide, that's the key. Oh, all right, let's get up to the campsite. Oh man, I was worried, I'm not gonna lie. I just didn't want to get salt water like up. I know I've got, the one pro is I've got that IGL Aegis coating with the carbon blast did. So I'm like, oh look, worst case it is protected to rust, but you don't want it. Like that's salt water. There's no getting around the bush there. That's salt. So anyway, let's get up to the campground. I'll go on fire pit. Oh yeah.
Well, I might back the car in.
Yep.
So
Sounds good.
what a spot, and to be right next to it, it's bloody awesome. I just wish this fence wasn't here, but. So this is Pebbly Beach. It's Pebbly, well it's called Pebbly because there's rocks all through this section, so it's pretty nice. What do you reckon, Anya?
Lovely.
Yeah, it is. Like when the sun comes out and all these joints, it just looks incredible. Like Anya and I, when we were setting up camp, we were thinking, oh, this almost gives you Fraser Island, like a Wynyard Creek vibes, like just with the trees and stuff. And
look how close we are to the...
I know, we're right next to the ocean, so yeah, it's a bloody awesome spot. So I just thought I'd take you around to the river, the Salty River we have to drive through to get to camp and show you what it looks like now. This is only 3 and a bit hours past low tide, and I'll show you what's changed. And it's a lake. Yeah, this is where we crossed.
No way.
Look at that, look how much the water's come up. By the looks of it too, by the high tide market, you'll get a fair bit deeper. Now, I've eaten extremely well this trip. I'm very lucky to have Anya, who's an amazing chef and can cook a variety of very great meals. But tonight I think it's my favorite one. We're doing
rissoles, which is my mum always cooked, like this is my favourite meal.
They're like large meatballs and they don't actually have that much in them.
So we got some basic ingredients, but I'm excited. This is going to be the best basic Aussie meal there is, but it's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, Patrick keeps saying he hasn't had enough meat in the last few days. We've had plenty of meat.
It's alright, your cooking's been incredible, so I guess let's get onto our rissoles. So you just toss them?
Yeah.
This is easy. This isn't too bad at all. Okay. So now the rissoles are done. We got the second component, which is, by my request, mashed potato. So potatoes obviously good on their own, but mashing them is just awesome, and they go perfect for rissoles. So we're going to mash these up, and yeah, this is going to be an awesome dinner. Anya, this is incredible. Well, Anya has absolutely smashed it out of the park. It is exactly what I could have imagined. It is amazing. And we're gonna now sit down, enjoy our rissoles, enjoy our lovely view, our sunset. It doesn't get any better than this.
Now, as isolated as this campsite was, we weren't alone. This place was just teeming with life. And not just the life you find in the sky.
Alright, so since Anya and I are staying here at Pebble Beach for 2 nights, we're gonna do a walking track. It's called like the Freshwater Creek something. I don't know, it goes around the coast. I figured it's a beautiful day. We got plenty of time here. It's only 9:30, we've been up since 7, so we figured why not take a walk, and it's literally not even any footsteps on the beach. So yeah, we'll go take a walk and see what we can find. We've walked probably 2.5k, so if it's not good, I'm going to be in trouble from Anya. We've seen a lot of dingo tracks, so I reckon up here is where they all go to get their fresh water.
I think it pays to get out of the 4-wheel drive and away from camp on some of these trips. As good as the car is, some places just need to experience on foot.
Still can't believe it's June right now. That was so good. The water's so warm. Well, for us Victorians, it's warm anyway. Lovely salad rolls.
To keep the fridge going while we're parked up, I use a mixture of a solar blanket and the existing panel on the rooftop tent to keep the batteries charged. And with plenty of power and time up our sleeves, we'll show you how we set up Anya's gas shower.
That holds pretty well.
Alright, so with that all set up, I'll show you how it quickly is. So basically, we've got our big 55-litre tank under the, it sits the Passion footwell. That just plumbs straight into that, so it's literally just a hose fitting right on the end of that. And then I'll open that up and that'll feed water through. We've got the pump, which sits here. The pump is just powered via an Anderson plug cable, which plugs into the 12-volt system, so plenty of power there, that's no dramas. And then from there, it'll pump it all the way into the hot tub itself, which goes up to where Anya's gonna have her lovely shower. So yeah, it's a pretty easy setup really. Obviously if you had an infinite water supply too, you could run this down to a creek, whatever, throw it in like we have in the past. But yeah, when you're running mobile, and obviously there's no water here, so we've got our water in our car that Anya can use, so yeah.
Now I remember how much I love all of that.
Proper shower.
Yep, it's so good.
At the beach. How good is that?
Very good, Patrick.
So this is the first time Anya and I have actually slowed down this entire trip. Like, we've been going to a new place every single day, which I like that's how I like to camp. But it is nice when you actually get to stay somewhere for like 2 nights in a row. You can properly chill out, properly explore what's around. And yeah, when you go on like
leaving and leaving and leaving, like leaving every morning, like it can get a bit tiring, I guess.
Yeah, it's just nice not having to pack things up, and you can leave your camp chairs out at night time and you know, oh, that doesn't need packing up.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't need packing up. Everything dries. It's just really nice.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Pebble Beach?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's probably like, yeah, some of the best camping in New South Wales, I would guess. That's what Patrick said earlier.
I'd say it feels like just being like isolated, you know. I love the feeling like when the tide goes in, like you can't get in or get out, like there's no more people coming. I don't know.
And it's so good just having the beach just right
Yeah,
there. Like
it's-
you can sit
yeah.
down, eat, and just look out. It's beautiful.
It's a wicked camp spot, and I think it's worth doing the saltwater crossing to get to. Just drive slow and you won't get salt on you. But yeah, it's definitely worth coming to. Anya once again outdoing herself with pad thai. Look at this.
Looks pretty good.
Go on, Matt. Oh, screw it. You don't see that. Forget that. That doesn't exist. That is beautiful, Anya. Anya's done it again. Rissoles one night, pad thai the next. And that brings us to our last day at Pebbly Beach. We're just waiting for the tide to go down before we cross Station Creek. And we're out of here, on to the next spot.
Sorry, I nearly stood on a stingray. Have a look. He's beautiful. I'm sorry for swearing at you, my friend. You're just missing the water.
So after successfully navigating across Station Creek, we put the foot down and headed to our next spot, which is a campground just south of Yamba called Red Cliffs. Now, this place was very pretty, and just like the name suggests, the cliffs had this red, rich colour that looked absolutely incredible in the afternoon light. Throw in a bunch of kangaroos hopping around up there, and it made for a pretty unreal sight.
A lot of bad place to eat grass, hey Anya?
Once again, Anya whipped up an epic feed before we bugged out early in the morning as we headed up to Yamba to where we chilled out for our final day of the trip. Now, up until this point, the car had been running absolutely perfectly, but on the way back home, we had one last problem to solve.
Yeah, the alternator's not charging. Well, that's alright. I got the jump pack in the back.
Now, luckily, this old diesel doesn't require much electronics to keep running, so we could easily find our way to a 4x4 parts shop. So we got ourselves a new alternator, found a car park, and got to work. Luckily, this is a pretty easy changeover that can be done with minimal tools, so it wasn't long until we had the old unit out and our brand new high output alternator back in.
Thank God. Oh my God. Thank God.
Fixed it. No longer dash lights full of Christmas trees, and we go over to our gauge. We can check our voltage, 14.6. So mission accomplished. The new beast is in. Keep tension happy. So yeah, keep on trucking. Well, out of all the ways this trip could have gone, I was not expecting it to be like this. Like, we absolutely nailed the weather. We had the most perfect weather this entire trip. Swimming every day, like, you know, sun out all day. It almost felt like I was getting sunburned. It was that hot. Like, it was wild.
I kinda did get sunburned.
I did get sunburned.
Yeah.
Like, seeing whales every day. Like, when Anya and I first spoke about this trip, like, oh, winter, New South Wales coast, like, this is gonna be like a ride-off.
Yeah,
Like,
we even had like backup plans in case it went horrible.
we were gonna go inland this
Yeah.
trip, so like I didn't even think this video was gonna actually happen, but like it just happened to be like such an amazing place. So I think Anya and I can highly recommend, if you're in winter, if you're like in Queensland, Victoria, you don't know where to go, you got 2 weeks off, head out to the mid New South Wales coast because there's awesome camping, you know, great driving, great scenery, great swimming, great beaches. Like, it has it all. So I'm very impressed. And yeah, what do you think, Anya?
Yeah, would recommend. New South Wales coast was so good. The campsites, like, they did cost a little bit more than in
Yeah, it
Victoria,
cost a
but
bit
so
more, but
clean.
yeah.
Yeah, so good.
Highly recommend.
Can't
So-
believe that was a winter trip.
I know, it was so good. So anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Give it a like if you want to see more trips from Anya and I, because you never know. If she gets some time off, we'll try to do some more. But yeah, get subscribed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all in the next episode.